We missed the last port on purpose. The ticket stub lived under our fruit bowl like it was renting the space month to month. Night ferry passenger X1 deck access. No destination printed. Just the time, 23:40. The date was last night. In the corner someone, my wife probably, had drawn a little anchor. I found it while looking for an orange. I also found a part of myself I don't like, the version that audits fruit bowls for evidence. Kiera had said she was staying late to sort the final assets for the Calder campaign. Loneliness makes patterns. Suspicion draws maps on water. I put the stub back, then picked it up again, the way you do when you can't decide who to be. At 22:05, the apartment felt like an argument rehearsing its opening statement without me. I put on my coat and drove to Pier D, where the ferries sleep with one eye open. The terminal smelled like salt and aluminum. A sign read, "No final destination. Hop on, think later." I bought a ticket. On the upper deck, the wind practiced philosophy. The galley bar glowed the way bars glow. I ordered water because I didn't trust what else I might order, and because the bartender was a man who looked like he took vows seriously. "First time?" he asked. "Feels like it," I said. He set the glass down with competence. "We sell relief at the end of the line," he said. "We sell perspective in the middle." He chewed the end of a straw. "You look like a middle." Kira texted, "I'm on the ferry, fresh air, don't wait up." A photo followed, a blur of lights, the kind you post to prove you are alive. I let the water be smarter than me for a minute, then went out onto the deck where the ferry kept moving like a lesson. Kira stood aft, alone, hair like something the wind had decided to adopt. When she saw me, her face went through 3 weather systems. Surprise, then fawn like a bruise, then the calm for conversations you hope won't break. "Adam," she said, "not accusation, just my name correctly." "You left this under our oranges," I said, holding up last night's stub. "Our apartment is bad at hiding things." "It is," she said. "So are we." She tapped the anchor she'd drawn. "I forgot I did that." "I came to ask what the boat is for," I said. "Romance charges by the hour." She turned toward the black water that wore the city in lights. "I had to hear something bigger than the people in the conference room," she said. "They were trying to convince me that a logo could save a life. The river never lies about what it is." She looked at me sideways. "I should have told you." "You should have," I said. The ferry eased away from the pier, the city tugging our attention. "Not because I own your hours, because I like to visit them." She smiled, tired, approving. "Visit this one with me." We walked the perimeter like teenagers. The night had practiced its lines and wanted to be believed. I wanted to ask the villain question, "Is there someone?" But the script didn't deserve it. Kiera tucked her hands into the pockets of her green coat and rocked on her heels in a way that meant she was choosing sentences she wouldn't hate later. The ferry's horn proofread the dark. I told her about the ticket under the fruit bowl and the little anchor that had felt like a dare. The city kept talking. "What do you want me to say?" she asked, not defiant, not pleading, curious, like a person at a museum wondering what the plaque will admit. "Tell me what the water is doing for you that I'm bad at," I said. "Tell me so I can choose between learning and leaving you to it." Kiera breathed indecision. "It lets me be big without being impressive," she said. "At the office, size is applause. Out here, size is permission." She looked at my face to see if the sentence landed. "I haven't kissed anyone," she added too fast, the way you correct a rumor no one said aloud. "I didn't ask," I said. We both smiled because we knew that was half true and half courage. "Thank you for saying it anyway." We stood until it felt ridiculous. The galley called us back with the simple theater of warmth and seats. A folk duo set up by the window, tuning the same imperfect sea for several minutes. The bartender slid us a coaster and a pencil. "In case you need to write a rule," he said. "What, like maritime law?" I asked. "Exactly," he said. "Small boats, small clauses." I wrote, "We don't make the hard thing the headline." Kira added, "We announce departures before the horn." I wrote, "No rehearsing other people's lines at home." She wrote, "If jealousy shows up, it buys a ticket and sits in the cheap seats." The duo started a song. Kira rested her head on my shoulder, then lifted it. "Do you want to ask me if I'm in love with my work?" she said, almost amused. "I already know that," I said. "I want to ask if your work is in love with you." She looked at her hands. "Sometimes," she said. "Sometimes it only loves the part of me that doesn't eat." "Let's feed you," I said, and we split a pastry that pretended almonds were enough. The ferry cut a clean sentence through water that had stopped judging. Halfway across, the lights of the other shore pretended to be a decision. The ferry could turn or not. We could stay or get off and find a bar that would lie to us in new ways. Kira took the pencil again and wrote on the back of the coaster, "Once a week, we ride something without purpose. Bus, escalator, elevator, ferry. Anything that moves and doesn't sell us a destination." "Thursdays," I said. She laughed and pocketed the coaster. "I'll calendar it," she said. We went back out as the wind tried a new philosophy. A couple took a photo of themselves that did not contain them. A crewman in a knit cap walked past and made eye contact like a benediction. Kira leaned her elbows on the rail without cheating the sign and said, "I want to stop auditioning for competence." "You're very good at it," I said. "That's the problem," she said. "It gets me into rooms that think applause is compensation." "I can clap," I said. "I know," she said. "Do the other thing, look at me like I can arrive without performance." "I can do that," I said, "and practice by doing it, which is the only correct rehearsal." She turned to face me. We kissed, steady, precise. The bartender looked over and then away. When the ferry slid back to our side, it did so politely, with that professional hush boats use when they don't want to embarrass the dock. The crowd shifted their weight as if asked to participate in physics. The horn turned back into a throat. We didn't disembark. We missed the last port on purpose, which is to say we chose to keep moving in place. I took the pencil. On the back of the ticket she'd used last night, I wrote, "When the scenery changes after 11 p.m., narrate it kindly." She drew another anchor, slower this time. "Do you want to go home?" I asked. "Not yet," she said. "I want to remember the sentence I just wrote on the water." "What is it?" She tilted her head like she was listening to something ask permission. "I can be large without being loud," she said. "I can be wanted without being watched." She looked at me. "Can we build a room for that?" "We can try," I said. "We'll need a sign." "As long as it isn't Comic Sans," she said, and the joke landed like a kiss on a temple. "What would it say?" "No final destination, enter anyway," I thought but didn't say. "Be where your feet are," said a sticker on the life ring. Instead I said, "Quiet hours begin when we say." She nodded like a director who trusts her lead. "And end when?" "When the kettle clicks," I said. We looped once more. The clerk stamped our tickets. At 01:12 we walked down the gangway with ordinary bravery. At home, we taped the coaster to the fridge with the painter's tape we keep for optimism. Next day I printed a card. "Quiet HOURS begin when we say." Announce DEPARTURES before the horn. Jealousy in the cheap SCATS. Once a week, ride something aimless. The ticket went back under the fruit bowl as an artifact of our language. I drew my own anchor, ugly and earnest, and Kira kissed the back of my hand in a way that felt like a check mark next to the right box. We still board ferries to say sentences we can't say on land. We're not better, only sometimes kinder. The river doesn't care, that's the relief. We put our phones in a bowl labeled harbor and waited for the kettle.